A lot of days, I'm really like a nigga in a girl's body. Like, I write like a dude sometimes. I think like a guy sometimes. Especially when it comes to like my work. I can be in a room full of men, working with a room full of men, and fit in with the guys. Like, I don't think they know that I be like, you know, gathering my own personal research for myself as a woman. They don't know all of that part, but that ain't for them to know. But I really be in there. They're like, oh, no, you can say that stuff. Cool. Yeah, go right ahead and say it, because I'm going to sit back here and I'm going to gather all this information. But no, even in terms of the way that I write, which is why I think that I write male records very comfortably, because I'm used to being in those working environments. I hear all y'all conversations, like the conversations that y'all don't think that you should have around females. Y'all slip up and have those conversations around me. But it's a good thing and a bad thing, because when it comes time for me to date, I don't really you can't really, you know, come with the bullshit with me, because I've heard it all. I've seen it all. Like, you know, it don't really work on me. And sometimes I wish I was a little more naive to the BS sometimes. But I just see it all. I mean, I've written, just imagine the male artists that I've written for and that I've been around. I've heard and seen it all. How does it help with relationships? It just helps me have more of a mouthpiece. I talk a lot of, you know, shit in my relationships. And it's funny. It's cute banter back and forth. But because, you know, let a guy say something like, oh, like try to say something funny, like you trying to run game. Oh, I didn't go there. I went to such and such. I'll be looking like, now, you know, come on, dude. Like, it's not gonna at least try a little bit. You got to get a little bit more creative, because that's not gonna work. I know the real. I know the BS. You gotta really, like, if you're gonna try to pull some slick shit, you better really be on your P's and Q's, because I've heard it all, especially at this point. I wish that the knowledge that I have, because now that I have the knowledge of working with so many guys, and I have that, and being in the space where I am right now, in terms of just me being a young woman, and I know how to balance it all out. I wish that I would have been in this mind state when I was in my past relationships, and I would have known then how to deal with certain things back then, like how I do right now. I wish I knew how to do those things back then, because right about now I feel like I'm just very straightforward with the men that you know, with dating in general. You know what I mean? Like, you're not really gonna pull too many things over me right about now. Is it hard to date being in the business? Well, I'm single, so hell yeah, I guess it's hard. It is very hard. I'm not even gonna lie, it's real hard. I'm trying this. It's hard, you know, it's hard for a couple of different reasons. People always ask, are men intimidated? I don't know why they would be, but I guess maybe sometimes they are. And if I step back and look at it, I guess maybe for some men, it's not the most comfortable thing for them to have their girl working in studios to, you know, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning with male producers, male artists, male writers. Like, I guess that can be a lot to take on if I have to really, really sit back and think about it. But at the end of the day, you have to trust me. It all comes down to me. Like, you know, and know that, like, dude, like, I have way too much respect for myself first and foremost, you know, for myself to let anything go down. And then secondly, I would have respect for whoever it is that I'm dating, I'm dealing with too. But I guess, I don't know, some men can't deal with that girl, I guess, working around men who have maybe a lot of money or a lot of popularity or a lot of fame. It can be a lot. So, I mean, I'm still single, hell, so a lot of them must be, and I guess maybe they do feel some way about it. So I don't know. From my experience of just like dating, from writing records with men, just from working with them, being able to be in the room full of guys and hear their perspective on things, I feel like I've been able to take all of that intel and I've used it to my advantage. I've paired it with the way that I naturally think as a woman. I mean, I've written an entire album about it, truth be told. Like, for me, Girl Disrupted is all about life, love, and relationships, truth be told. It forced me to look at the way that I deal with with love and with dating and with men. And a couple things that I've, realized about myself, or just realized throughout all of that, is that, for one, you shouldn't have to force anybody to do anything. Men are gonna, if somebody's interested in you, if somebody wants you, they gonna let you know that. You ain't really got to do a lot. You don't have to chase. You don't have to play the games. You don't have to do any type of trickery. And like I said, I write about it all the time. I have a song on my album called like Before I Do. And for me, Before I Do is talking about, before you decide to go down a certain road with somebody, just make sure that y'all are on the same page. And for me, the thing that it made me look deep down inside of myself and have this conversation with myself and just go, for me, I throughout writing my album too, I ended up looking myself in the mirror and just saying, and fixing things about myself, changing things about myself. Who's slicker when it comes to being in a relationship, men or women? Hands down, it's women. But we don't use it. If we wanted to use it for bad, we could, but we don't. Thank God that y'all don't have the same power and the same slickness that we have, because y'all try to be slick and y'all don't really have the means to actually do it. You get caught every time. Like, I think that's the perfect balance. Like, we're slicker, and if we wanted to use it for some bad, we could, but we choose not to, because we're just, we love harder. We fall harder, we love harder. We're super duper in it, and not that y'all aren't either, but when it comes to being more slick, it's definitely us. And thank God y'all don't have the means to be as slick as we are.
It was speaking to women, the first lines, And so by the time we got to the hook, the first melody that I came up with, I'm like that. I just am very spontaneous on the spot, and I just, on my way, on my way, on my way around. On my way, on my way, on my way around. And his eyes lit up, and he's like, yo.
He was able to narrate everything that I sung through dance. And I always respected that. So when I heard Fade, that's what Fade gave me. It gave me that I need to narrate these words. I need to bring to life what he's saying with dance. So I hit up Guapo. He's a perfect person for that.
And me, I'm like, yo, I'm not progressing, and I'm not in this business to look lit to you and really be burnt out. And so I made a decision just to quit my job, and I got on a plane, went to LA, sold everything in my house, said fuck it.
You got to be good at what you do, because that's what's gonna back it up at the end of the day. That's all that matters. Just stay hard, grind. You got to grind like the boys do. They stay in the studio for days. I do 12-hour blocks in the studio now. Like, you gotta have that hustle.